Hello and welcome. I'm Domina Della Pie, Mistress Sasha Storm, and I want to talk about this. It keeps popping up. People who have turned to veganism, vegetarianism, people who are strictly plant-based from having been carnivores. So here's one, and he's saying, I have a problem with my old leather items. All my belts, shoes are leather, including my Converse. Throwing them away and buying new shoes will be quite expensive, bad for the environment. Keeping them may seem like I still support the cruelty to animals. Anyone struggling with that? What did you do? I realize that opinions may vary, but I'm interested to hear how others have dealt with it. Now, I don't advise any people who own leather items to throw them away if they are in good condition and if they still fit, if they're still comfortable, and if you still like them, except for that they are from animals and then you have changed into a non-animal, you're plant-based, right? You don't want to look like a hypocrite for wearing leather, but I mean, you've had the items for however long, right? They have a long life. That's why people buy them, because they're durable. And it's one thing to be going to the butcher and buying meat after you are no longer eating meat. It's very different to choose to continue to wear the shoes you've always worn, the belts, whatever, that are leather. I mean, they can still serve you. And if not, donate them. Take them to thrift shop. Take them to, those church, the churches and organizations that shelter the homeless and low-income people or people in shelters. When people become something new that they've never really experienced before, they tend to go overboard. And I think that's why many people don't like vegans and vegetarians, because they become so preachy and, like I refuse to call myself vegan or vegetarian. I say plant-based, largely plant-based, but I can be quite balanced with the pescatarian. I include fish, right? So this thing about the clothing, considering the long life of leather products, I think it would be a waste to throw them away. It's silly. And people are so wasteful in the world now, especially here in North America. The new vegans, yes. I neglected to mention I was clearing the basement so that I could shoot my videos at the wood burning stove. And I found items. I found many different items. Some of them were from my time doing BDSM, and there's a lot of stuff, but I found these restraints, ankle restraints, wrist restraints, and some whips. And they were molding. If they were in a bag, and they were molding. So I had to throw them out. And they were very good quality, but I didn't want to even bother trying to clean them. I just put them in there because it was kind of symbolic as well. It was a parting of this energy that was around me from the days I had been associating with a devil energy in someone who I guess it was my very first narcissistic encounter, but I had no clue about what narcissism was. This person had been called once a megalomaniac. So he had made me these, she not made me this, I bought for, were they a gift? I don't know, but I had from her. It's a bunch of bondage gear, wrist and ankle restraints, collars, one of my colors I had to throw out, molding, and so I got rid of them. I could, I didn't feel bad. It was, I was happy actually. It seemed like a good parting of the ways. Because the experience with the person who made them, it had a detrimental impact, very destructive, damaging, traumatic, okay? PTSD from thee. Yeah. So I continued to be associating with people who were similar and didn't realize that I was this, I hate to say the words, they say empath. Anyway. So I had no problem with, just throwing it in the garbage bin. Trashed it, even though it was in still good quality and could possibly be restored, but I didn't want to bother. I wasn't so attached. This is something that I've learned, is be detached. I used to be too attached, and this is how I was hurt repeatedly. You don't go back to where you were not treated, where you were treated unkindly. And how did I get here? Because every message has a message for me. I don't know. That's just the way it is. It's the way it be.